Hey everybody, just a quick 5-minute warning. Mel, we're live on your channel as well.
Hi everyone, Ladies, gentlemen, those neither and in between, welcome to Twitch's International Day. We're International Women's Day stream. I'm Mel, and across 07, I like to classify myself as the extreme makeup athlete. And today I'm going to be a makeup teacher as well. I've completed over 1,000 makeup and body paint looks, and I've been streaming for over 7 years. My channel is all about creating art with makeup, and I am a little bit delusionally optimistic when it comes to my headpieces and trying to defy gravity. If you can follow me on Twitch, I'd really appreciate it. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I would recommend it. And I also post different things across my socials, as they're the more the finesse stuff, as I do the behind the scenes over on Twitch when I'm creating my makeup art. But that's enough about me. Today, we're here to celebrate International Women's Day. So we're going to be doing a special makeup tutorial stream, which I've titled Makeup Set in Stone. I have a few announcements before we get into it though. In honor of International Women's Day observed on March 8th around the world, Twitch will be celebrating the legendary women all year long through a variety of initiatives which spotlight the community. But today, Twitch has launched a new permanent Twitch global emote designed by artist, partner, and Women's Guild member Amy Sometimes. This emote celebrates and uplifts the legendary women who are making incredible contributions on Twitch every day, so make sure to share "We did that" in chat. To continue uplifting creators across the globe, Twitch has officially launched their interest forms for the Twitch Unity Guilds in 6 additional languages. And you can find out more on Twitch's recent blog. As well, you can also head to your Creator Home dashboard to register your interest now. And finally, check out this video from our Global Women's Guild members discussing how important the Women's Guild is to them. And be sure to look out for more content celebrating the incredible women throughout 2025.
I'm so proud to be paving the way for the next generation of women gamers, especially on Twitch.
I am constantly inspired by the fantastic women on Twitch, and it is an absolute honor to be sharing this space with them.
We show up for each other. We collaborate, we celebrate, and we support each other.
One thing I love about being part of the Women's Guild is the level of inclusivity it has there. Nobody is nobody. Everybody is somebody. We love being a part of a community that really fosters and harbors people like myself and so many others.
I love to use my platform to create events and panels to uplift women, and I'm able to provide so much insight into making sure that people can feel themselves through art and beauty.
The guilds have helped me tremendously to get over some of my social anxiety, to feel like I am absolutely worthy of the opportunities that present themselves to each and every member within the community, not just women, but to celebrate women.
Not only do I have so many women I look up to here on Twitch, but I also have so many women I can look up to in physics as well.
If you're looking for ways to celebrate and uplift women on Twitch, consider rating them, joining their streams, dropping a lurk, or even collaborate with them to amplify their voices.
Because on Twitch, we come together for legendary women.
I hope you enjoyed the video, especially maybe seeing a few familiar faces in there. If you want to catch the video again, you can have a look across Twitch's socials. But we're going to move on to more of the makeup section after meeting our guests. So first, I just want to say major thank you to Mayron Makeup for providing not just me today, but with the guests as well, with all the products that we're going to be using. So special thank you to them. So without further ado, let's meet our guests today. Our first guest is 35p Ramen, who is a professional producer and as a streamer, she focuses on Destiny and is a really big fan of Halo. Recently, she's also been getting into cosplay, so this is a great opportunity to try something to help with that. Ramen, how are you doing today?
I feel great. I feel really nervous, really happy to be here. Thank you for having me. And I've also seen some familiar faces in chat, so I'm just really excited.
I'm glad to hear it. So I'm going to ask a few questions so that chat can get to know you a little bit more. Chat, you want to follow 35p Ramen. So Ramen, can you tell us a little bit more about how you enjoy exploring the lore of Destiny on stream?
I think you've really hit the nail on the head with Halo. So just a really big fan of everything Bungie created with that. So getting to explore into Destiny as an adult has been really nostalgic and just feels really cool. I'm about 400 hours into that game and I'm still going through first experiences. Like I still have so many new things to explore. So it's really cool to also see some like familiarities and mechanics, and I don't know, it's just exciting. I love getting lost in it.
Yeah, I see that you've been watching so many of the lore videos as well. I think that's such an interesting way to like really appreciate the game so much more. Not necessarily like you're spoiling it for yourself at all, but I feel like it makes you really appreciate more things that you see and like discovering
Yeah.
more things that you didn't know with your community.
Yeah, I mean, some of the characters' backstory has backstory. Like they've gone deep with this stuff. Like they have grimoires. There's a lot. There's like a really big universe for you to get lost in. It's kind of nuts. There's lots to learn.
I didn't know there was so much. Okay, so next question I have for you. It sounds like it's going to be completely different, but on
Okay.
socials, you're really good at showcasing journeys through new products, experimenting with them while maintaining your consistency with uploads. And I know so many people struggle with this. Do you think it's better to create these on a whim and what feels right in the moment, or do you plan them and why?
It's a little bit of both, but I'm gonna lean more on a whim, just because I feel like with a lot of us who are trying to get into content, we have like a real good habit of overthinking and talking ourselves out of things or procrastinating with it. So I like to go on the whim, but obviously gauging my energy levels at the same time in a way that like I'm not going to sabotage myself if I do this. And if I do have the energy, great, I will just put it out there even if I'm looking in absolute state. And if I don't, I'll make a note of it on my phone and then revisit it. I think the best way for that is because with short form content, you can always repost, you can always revisit like a segment, so you just get it out there. And some of my most like highest performing pieces of content are ones where I'm filming an unflattering angle, I'm like in an oversized dirty hoodie, like I have double chins, like it's just really unflattering, and those have been the best performing. So yeah, just on a whim.
Right, no overthinking, just post it.
Definitely. I mean, which I'm an overthinker, so yeah.
Well, there we go. As far as it goes, no overthinking, just post them. I think that's basically like how it always works out, isn't it? The one that you don't really plan to do well is always the one that does really well.
Yeah, it's just the way. It's the way.
I post when I remember, and that goes just about as well as I say. And finally, can you tell us a win that you've had recently that you're really proud of?
Yes, it was actually just yesterday. Again, related to what we've really spoken about regarding Halo, Bungie, Destiny. We spoke about it a little bit already, but it's like I was careful with how I worded this. I'm officially involved somewhat in the Bungie sphere. My name was on their website in the news article that they put out. I'll be representing the UK as one of their Hunter Vanguard members, Guardians to be specific. So yeah, it'll be my first time ever like taking part in a tournament with other creators, and I'm just really excited. And I wish I could tell little me who was like crying over trying to fight, like playing with their siblings on co-op, to play Legendary, where I couldn't like, hey, don't worry about it because you're going to be on Bungie's site one day. Like,
that's
so yeah,
I'm
really excited about that. So.
Oh, can we get some we did that's in chat? Thank you so much, Ramen. Okay, on to our next guest today, Aaliyah Will. So Aaliyah does a mixture of just chatting and gaming, including Final Fantasy, Pokemon, and Zelda. And amongst this, Aaliyah has also amassed an abundance of cosplays already on her socials, ranging from anime to gaming to her own fantasy original creations. Aaliyah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing so well. Just happy to be here, and thank you for the lovely intro. But how are you?
Of course. Oh, I'm great. So I want to get into some questions for you as well, just to make sure that chat are going to be a little bit more familiar with you. Chat, please don't forget to follow Aaliyah Will as well. So after learning a little bit more about face painting today, is there a character that you feel like you might be unlocking or you've got your eye on in the future?
Yes, I've definitely been wanting to cosplay. I don't know if you've played Hades before, but there's a character called Eurydice, and she's sort of like a part tree, part woman, and she has these really beautiful earthy swirls all over her face, and I've always wanted to cosplay her. And I've always also wanted to cosplay True Form Midna from Zelda. She's like the blue queen. We love her.
Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, this is fantastic that we've brought you on.
I'm very excited. I just always hear stuff, and big fan, love ya.
That's very kind. Thank you so much. You describe yourself as a forest elf. Do you feel a little bit displaced being in a stream room filled with RGB lights, computers, and tech?
I love that question, and it may look deceiving, but I love that you asked this. But I literally have a tree.
Oh, Don't worry, she's in
I'm
the treehouse now.
surrounded by plants all the time, and I'm always in a forest. So I think striking the proper balance for me is always very helpful and helps me feel really calm. I just feel like being around nature is super calming, but I also like gaming, and so I think that balance is super important, just keeping, grounded.
And who am I to assume that forest elves aren't hardcore gamers? And can you tell us a win that you've had recently that you're really proud of?
Oh, I'm getting married. That's a big accomplishment, I suppose. Very excited about that. Very excited. And in smaller news, I just got a new piano. I'm like a classically trained piano player, and so I wanted to treat myself to a new piano keyboard, and so that has been my big girl purchase.
Wham! I love to hear it. Can we get some We Did That's in chat? Let's go! And our final guest, and our final guest, but of course by no means least, is Nebeats, who's a Just Chatting DJ streamer focusing on bringing high energy hype streams to party people. Nebeats, how are you doing today?
Hi! Can you hear me, first of all?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm doing so good. I'm so excited to be here. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you so much. So I want to make sure that chat gets to know you a little better as well. I'm going to go into some Nebeats lore. I know that this stream is very different to what you would normally be doing, but is there something that you love doing that's very, very creative within DJing that might be very, very specific to other people who don't know anything about DJing? It's me. I don't know anything about DJing. I'm asking for myself.
Yeah, so I would say when it comes to like things that are related to DJing, I really like making playlists for people, which I think kind of comes from both like a love language of sharing music, and also like being a DJ, you kind of have to do like you kind of have to feel the vibe of the crowd and like, do they like this? Do they like that? So kind of like utilizing that skill to like make playlists for like friends or like people I care about is something like I really like to do as both a creative outlet and like a love language.
So when you're doing something and you're like, oh, I had to feel the vibe of the crowd, have you ever done something and been like, they are not liking this, I need to change it up now, and suddenly had to like give yourself like a whole 180?
Absolutely. No, 100%. That's happened like during a live show. And then I used to do requests on stream, and I could immediately tell when people in chat were like, man, this sucks. And I was like, okay, we're gonna backspin out of this track real quick. Yeah, all the time. So you can definitely feel the vibe shift.
Oh, interesting. No, I mean, like, I wouldn't know because I don't know anything about DJing. I'm literally like, sounds great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So another thing is that you've also been sharing your thrifted outfits that you've been wearing on stream as part of your socials as well, which further showcases your creativity outside of DJing alone. Do you have any other creative outputs that chat see less of outside of streaming?
So I definitely, obviously, I love the thrifting. This is thrifted. Let's go. I would say besides like my like clothes appearance, I've been really into like decorating like apartment wise and like design and things of that nature. So I'm going for like I'm turning my apartment into like a very like groovy Austin Powers vibe right now. So I've been like really into that, like lots of oranges, lots of like just kind of like boom big pillows. So I'm kind of making it like the Austin Powers like love shack here right now.
I mean, that's not something I expected to make a comeback, but I'm glad you're literally doing it single-handedly.
Yeah, it's time it made a comeback. So I would say that's kind of my project right now.
Got you. A few years ago, I tried to single-handedly bring back flared trousers, but it was just me. But I feel like they might come back, and I have some.
We have to bring them back. Don't throw them away.
They shouldn't have gone. I still like them. They go really well with big shoes.
Yes. No, you got me on it. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. There's two of us. Chat. Make it a few more. Okay. And finally, as well, could you tell us a win that you've had recently that you're really proud of?
Yeah, so I've been a DJ for 3 years now, and I finally just recently started getting into like actual like music production and producing. So I finally started like making my own beats and like working on that. They suck right now. They're really bad. But I've started the journey and the process, and that makes me happy because we're getting somewhere, and I'll learn.
That's good because we all start as a beginner at some point, don't we? That's the main thing. And I always say that about makeup as well. So obviously it coincides with exactly what you're saying is like, you're not bad at something, you're just a beginner because you haven't collected enough XP yet.
Exactly. So yeah, right now they're
That's
trash,
good.
but later we'll get there.
Yeah, exactly. You have to walk before you can run. Fabulous. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So we're going to go into the makeup tutorial segment, and we're going to start off with the makeup look that I've designed. So I was really thinking about what kind of makeup to do today, and I was really thinking about the legendary women, and I was like, gosh, I'm really not sure what to do. And then I was thinking, I had that song stuck in my head of like Legends Never Die, and then I kept thinking, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And then I was thinking, actually, like legends tend to get carved in stone, even all the way back down to like ancient Egypt or like ancient Greece, etc. And I was like, oh, they always get turned into like statues. So I thought we would do a statue-like and carved out stone makeup look today, which is why I decided to call it Makeup Set in Stone. So we're going to be doing a half makeup look today, and I requested all of my guests bring a toothbrush, but I didn't explain why. So we're going to be going into that today. So let's get straight into it because I don't want to keep you gals waiting any longer. I'm really excited. And those of you who want to follow along back home, I appreciate you probably don't have the products, but that's no problem. If you want to take notes, I'll also be showcasing what I'm using as well. So if you want to take notes, and then if you want to recreate it and share it on socials, please tag us. We'd love to see. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that I open my products because that'll save me a little bit of time in the future. So going in, first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go and start sketching this out. So I'm just taking the eyeliner pencil. I like to start all of mine out with a light sketch. Now, if you don't want to get some of the paint in your hair, that's totally fine. Sometimes it's not hair washing day. If you don't want to get it in your hair, you can do a slight edge, like a perimeter around this side of your face where your hairline is. I'm always happy to get my paint in my hairline because I do this like 6 times a week. I'm so used to this. However, if you don't want to do that, it does wash out. But if you don't want to do that, that's completely fine. So feel free to draw a slight line around the perimeter. But for the rest of the makeup on this side, we're going to go a split down the middle, but I always start mine by my hairline because I have a split hair. So we're going to do a really jagged, sharp line. It does not matter at all if it's straight or like how many like edges you've got in there. It's almost going to feel like a scribble going from the top like this. And we're just going to very lightly bring it all the way down across like this. Okay, one of them's gone.
That was me.
Right, so I'm just gonna very lightly draw this in across here. Like so. So this is me just splitting up the face in half, right? All right, real good. I have a tendency to go a little bit too quick. If I'm going too quick, you can just be like, can you not?
I was just watching.
That's
I was just like,
okay,
oh,
good.
we're going? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it already.
Okay. I'll catch up.
Oh, great, Aaliyah. We're basically done.
Perfect.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, so then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to mix up. I'm just going to take the Storm Cloud by Mayron, and I'm also going to take white. And you gals can completely pick how light or dark you want the stone. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking my white and I'm just going to take a little bit of the gray. I'm dipping this in water because these are water activated paints. I'm one of those people that's more than happy to go straight onto the pan, but for some people, I know this fully sends them. I'm so sorry for you guys at home if you're one of those people who does not like what I'm doing right now, but I do this with every single paint. It's fine for me. Anyway, so I'm just going to mix up one that's a little bit lighter because I like to try and like deepen mine later on. If you want to make yours like a darker shade of stone, that's totally fine too. So I'm just going to make sure that I pick that up. Now, when you're picking up the paint, make sure that you use both sides of the brush, because what people tend to do when they're painting, especially with makeup, is they only do one side here. And then when they paint on their face, they paint with both sides. So they're putting it on and taking it off, and they're putting it on and taking it off. So if you just make sure that you load up all sides of the brush, and I'm using the biggest brush that we've been given by Mayron today. And then I'm just gonna start filling this in. It doesn't matter how exact you are, because it's literally broken stone. And I'm just gonna start filling this area in now.
I'm locking in.
Yep, straight in. Straight in there.
I'm going nonverbal.
Just like me, girl.
There we go. What's really good about this as well is like you can paint over some makeup. Those of you at home, I hope I tricked you all. I shaved off half my eyebrows. These aren't real. I draw them on every single day. So I'm just gonna just get rid of that part now.
I was about to ask, do you want us to paint over eyebrows or go around them?
That's completely your choice. Yeah, that I will let you guys make a decision on if you want to have stone eyebrows or you're like, no, I worked hard on my eyebrows today. Completely.
I'm getting rid of
I don't really work that hard on my eyebrows. Yeah, okay, you can force them locked
They're
in.
gone. Goodbye.
Are we gonna draw them back on with?
You
like,
can
a
do.
darker
You're
paint?
totally that's fine. You can draw them back on. That's what I will end up doing with mine because they look like hyphens on my face. So I have to.
Okay.
All right.
I
There we go.
love
So we're
this
just-
paint.
It smells so nice as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what
it's a
we're talking
good
about
name.
earlier.
It's so
It's
smooth.
really good. Yeah.
Also, something for a paint that I didn't think I'd ever notice is just like how moisturizing it feels as well. Like it doesn't feel
Isn't it nice?
really drying. Yeah.
It's like I feel like I'm putting on a clay mask.
That's
Yes,
that.
definitely.
I feel like that's also how I'm like kind of painting it.
Yeah. Like when you get that tiny brush to put
Yeah.
on skincare masks.
Yes. Sorry, I just processed.
I've got to round them out
You're
there.
just-
I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah, this isn't like cheap Halloween makeup. This is like the good stuff. I'm like, wait a minute.
I know. And then you
Right.
start realizing, like, oh, no wonder I really struggled at Halloween. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't actually using the stuff that's actually easy to use.
I'm like speed running now. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah, and it's like so much easier to apply, isn't it?
It's so nice.
So much better.
Next question: over the lip or around the lip?
I'm going over.
Okay.
Full send it. I'm going to recommend that you go over as well. It might look a little bit odd if you do.
Okay. You're the expert.
Oh, we say that, but thank you. There we go. So we just really want to make sure that we fill in all of this area with the grey. We're just going to be do you know what's really great about this as well is we can do quite a lot of like grayscale makeup looks with these. So like even though it probably feels like we don't have like the most colourful stuff, like with these paints, you can do so much. You can do like skull makeup looks with them. And like another thing about skull makeups is like it just doesn't have to be like white. You can do skulls in any colour as well. But what's also great about these is you've got basically like all the colors that you would need to do it with. So I feel like skulls are really great to start with. If you're watching from back home and you're like, I want to start, but I don't know how. Skulls and clowns are really good to start off with, even though I've got these girls doing stone. I think skulls and clowns are really great to practice with. There we go.
I definitely just ate some, but I don't even care.
No, honestly, it's like forbidden, but it's not bad.
Forbidden clowns.
Yeah. How are you guys finding it so far? It's a lot easier with the type of makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of mind blown right now. I'm like, wait, this is a game changer.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm her. Hold on.
Oh, love this.
Do you know what we all look like now at the moment? Is you know, in WandaVision, where it's like the split down the face when it's like the timey one. And
Part
like,
of us is in like black or white.
Mm.
Never ever in my life did I think I'd be on Twitch front page with like a half grey face, but here we go.
You're all in my world now.
Yeah. You've really immersed us. It's going good.
Fabulous.
I feel
okay.
like we
I feel like
opera.
Yeah.
Oh my
Do
God,
you know
I've
what?
been listening to
Actually,
that
that's
for
actually something that you can do with these makeup looks, with these paints that I've given you guys as well. Like, I've done Phantom of the Opera a few times. You just basically need white and some shading. That one's pretty straightforward. That's a good one to do.
I love the casual flex. I've done Phantom of the Opera a few times. That'd be good.
Yeah, hello?
Never.
It's like, oh, you haven't?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I've done quite a few makeup looks by this point. Sometimes even I forget. One time I actually was like, oh my God, I've come up with this fantastic idea, and then realized I had already done it like 6 years ago, and I was like, oh, this is embarrassing, because someone in chat found it.
Oh my
Like, look at this brand new idea I've come up with. Oh, anyway. We have a few messages from chat. Nimly, I'm going to paint myself with y'all. Yes, please do. Love to see it. Yeah. And Reckless Code, me actually turning into my Phantom right now.
I'll be a phantom.
There you go.
All right. I feel like we're all like making good progress. So the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to go back in with the eyeliner pencil, and what you're going to do is you're just going to make some, we're going to make some choices, and you're going to pick. So for instance, we're going to decide which ones we want to be kind of like broken stone. It doesn't have to be all of them. So I think that some of these might work pretty well, where you want to make it seem like this one is its own stone that's completely broken off, right? Then what we're going to do is roughly just kind of like bring some of this part, these out in cracks. If you want to draw a really good crack, you want to split it off as an elongated Y. That will give you one of the more natural looking cracks that we'll see. I'm not sure how many times I can say the word crack without Twitch starting to look at me funny. So I'm just going to stop saying it. But we're just going to, just feel free to really, it sounds like I'm going to say figure it out. But just kind of draw in some random stones. Again, it's literally broken stone, so it doesn't matter at all with the design that you're going for. It's just working as a base. Like these, and then you can also go in from those ones and then elongate those, and it just makes something a bit more interesting on your makeup to see to kind of have like the cracks in there as well, because it gives it a little bit more dimension. So feel free to just sketch in any of those that you think, actually this part could do with a little bit more.
Could we get a close up of Mel's face again? For reference.
Yeah, I keep like looking over it.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, chat's telling me Fisher is another word. Thank you. That sounds better. I don't want to keep saying it. Yeah.
kind of
How are you all feeling about it so far? It is nice, isn't it?
I see why you do this.
You see why I do this all the time.
Like, this is really nice.
All right, grand. So no worries if you're not 100% there. That's totally fine. We're going to bring out the toothbrush. Finally, the toothbrush, which I was like, please get yourself a toothbrush. It's really important. And then I gave you no more information and didn't mention it for a week. So you're going to take some.
Dental hygiene is
You're going
very
to dip. It is important, but today we're going to be doing dental hygiene on the face. So we're going to take the toothbrush, dip it in the water, and then we're going to slightly move it onto the top of the paint, just like this. And you can look at it and be like, if that feels a little bit too wet, you can also just like dab a little bit on the towel that you've got in front of you, and you can also test it out on your arm. So as an example here, I want to flick the paint on my arm just so I can get a good idea of how it's going to splatter, just so I can get an idea of the texture that I'm going to be going for. This will help you be like, actually that's a little bit too thick, or like those blobs are too big. So that's what we're going to go off and do next. So we're going to take this, and then if you don't want to get it in your hair or other parts of your face, you can always just put like your hand in the way just to block that part. For me, this is kind of my life, so it's going to be fine for me. I'm just going to flick this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start putting in this stone-like texture. I'm putting in these splatters all across the face, and I'm just lightly going through, and then we're just going to make sure that we kind of like concentrate on certain areas, just like this. And we're just gonna also use this as a way to lightly contour the face. So where you've got your cheekbone, what you can do is you can take the darker splatter that you're doing and then concentrate some more around where the cheekbone would be. I'm also going to be doing that slightly around where the dip of my eye is, and add a little bit more depth over here. And then we're just going to go through and make sure we've got enough over the mouth. There we go. Make sure we've got enough splatter across there. We're also going to be doing this with a few more shades of white and grey, so we can make sure we get enough color variation in there as well to try and go for a stone which looks a little bit more realistic. So I did a stone makeup look fairly recently, and I didn't realize that I had reenacted some trauma from an entire generation of people, because I turned myself into the Weeping Angel from Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Yeah, and a lot of people were bringing out the lore, telling me, do you not know what happens with photos of angels? We're all doomed. How could you do this?
That is so... I just saw that from... I was looking at your Insta. That was a banger.
Yeah, and so thank you. It was a fun one to do, and I really enjoyed it. But most of my comments are people freaking out that I've cursed them with a weeping angel. And honestly, I was quite surprised. I was quite shocked as to how many people had seemingly remembered that episode. I watched it on the plane. I like watching horror on the plane because I feel like ghosts can't get me there.
I get the
I mean,
logic.
they do fly, but
they can't go that hard, right?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Okay, so you want to rinse off your toothbrush, and now we're going to go in with some white.
Oh.
You see how we're going to be building it up?
Vision.
I don't know why I wore a white shirt to this.
Same.
Usually
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, let me get my Renaissance top, get into character.
You're like, let me get my best clothes out today. Maybe I should have warned you.
Oh no, I'm totally fine with getting clothes a little dirty.
It does wash out, I can confirm.
Oh,
I almost splattered the wrong side of my face.
It's in my hair. Kind of love that.
Aaliyah going for a full send in the hair.
Right?
And again, with the white, you can also use that to highlight the cheekbone and any other parts of your face. So you can just kind of like go over it and make sure that you've got more of that texture in there, you know? So you want to use it as well in a way to
I love this.
create. It's nice, isn't it? It's quite therapeutic, as you mentioned prior.
So Mel, what is next for you? What's the next makeup look you're gonna do?
I maybe bought a Shrek prosthetic in a 2 a.m. frenzy that I had a few days ago. And so I am waiting for that to arrive, and I'm excited about that.
Yes.
I think it's going to be nice. I didn't realize it was good timing. My chat was like, oh yeah, because the new trailer dropped. And I was like, what trailer are you talking about? So I don't know if they kind of thought that I was doing it because of that. But fortunately, no, I was just thinking about Shrek a lot recently. And was like, I should turn myself into Shrek. Anyway, I've got that. I want to just,
this is
yeah,
the beauty of having your own money.
Adult money. So that's kind of like what I'm planning to do. I also, my chat unlocked some sub goals, and I'm working on turning myself into the baby head from Toy Story, as well as Diesel from Thomas the Tank Engine. So you can look
the baby
forward
head
to that.
that's like, oh my god.
Yeah, the one that's like attached to Meccano.
Okay.
That one.
Oh my god. What a movie.
Yeah. No further notes on that one. So what I'm going to have you all do now is, because we've just done some paint splatter, the paint's going to be quite thick on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the small brush from the brow palette. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a shade which is a little bit darker than our skin tone. So I'm going to go with this one here, and I'm just going to pick it up on one side of my brush, just there, just like that. So while we're waiting for this side to dry, what we're going to do is we're going to work on the shading on this side. So where you've done all of the cracks here, I'm just going to bring in this shadow, and then I'm just going to pull it so slightly out like that. And then you'll be able to see now that it starts to give it a bit more dimension and a bit more lift.
I didn't know you could do this stuff so fast. Like in general.
Yeah, it's quite quick, isn't it?
Do this. Yeah.
Oh wow, just adding like a tiniest bit as well already makes such a difference.
Yeah, I feel like just a small amount does make a huge difference overall. And I think it just comes down to like understanding like, okay, I can get away with so and so if I just quickly do like this bit. So what you can also do is kind of have a look at maybe the light source would be coming from above. So you don't have to do shading on every single part, but you can just make sure it's consistent across, right? But if you want to do it all the way across, that's totally fine too.
Do you have a favorite piece that you've done, Mel?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's kind of hard to pick, honestly. I feel like it always comes across as like a humble brag, but it's not my intention. Because I've done over 1,000, right? So it's kind of hard to pick. I was really happy with how like Cortana turned out, and then I did Witchblade. I don't know if some of you guys know Witchblade, or even in the chat, but her design's really interesting and was heavily detailed when she becomes fully in control of the Witchblade, and there was so much detail on that. So I saved that as my challenge for my 1,000th paint. And so that one kind of holds like a special place in my heart, because I was like, oh my god, we reached 1,000 paints. It was really exciting.
That is exciting. Oh, heck yeah.
So we have some lovely messages from the chat as well. This is giving me cosplay ideas. Yes, Amethyst Moon. Love that. Can you see how easy it is as well to like bring this stuff together? It's pretty straightforward overall. And we also have Azure Berry. The background from Aaliyah is so pretty and so cozy.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
It is. I've been like staring at it for comfort.
Oh, you're so sweet.
It gives super cozy vibes.
Thank you. Y'all are so sweet.
I'm so locked in right now.
Right?
Isn't it? I feel like as well it's quite like relaxing, and like it's really easy to get lost in it.
No, absolutely. Especially like the small details. I'm like eyes wide.
Okay, and then no rush on that, of course. But then what you want to do is take take a powder that is so slightly darker, and then just push that into the very edge. So for me, I'm just using the absolute darkest color on the palette, and I'm just pushing that into the very edge, and I'm not dragging that one out as far as I've dragged out the other color. Bacanella says, the shadow makes a huge difference. I love seeing everyone's interpretation too. Gosh, doesn't it make just the wildest difference? I feel like it's so shocking and people don't necessarily realize that just a touch will really help.
We should go grocery shopping after this.
Yeah. All of us.
Right? It's like picking up some produce.
I don't know. Remember what I just said about the Weeping Angels? Like, people are not over it.
I think that's all the more reason to do it. Let's just...
Exactly.
Let's just help people
start a
overcome their
movement.
fear.
So, knee beats. Not to pull you out of your locked in focus, but I was super fascinated by one of the posts that you've done recently about your reaction when you bought some Pokemon cards in Costco, was it?
Oh my gosh. That's a war zone. That is a war. So I don't know anything about Pokemon cards, and I was picking them up for someone else. And on the way out, I have these 2 boxes, and the Costco employee goes, "Hey, good luck." And I didn't know what it meant. So I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Good luck for what?" And he was like, looked at me. And I was like, "What's gonna happen?" And I realized he meant like good luck opening the packs, like good luck with what you get. But I had no idea.
God.
So I thought I was walking into danger. I was like, "Oh, they're serious about this Pokemon stuff."
Oh my God.
I mean, they are though.
Hunger Games out
They
there.
are.
Yeah, no, I was like, "Oh, I'm okay." And then I actually posted that and everybody was like, "Watch your back." And I was like, "Wait, what?" Like, I'm not safe actually, never mind.
Woo, they don't play. It's very scary.
Yeah, I was getting texts at 3 a.m. like, "Let me buy those off you." I was like, "They're not even mine." Please.
Oh my God. I didn't
that
know that it was that
reminds me.
serious.
It's that
Yeah,
serious.
it's like it has. It's like become like this big wave again.
Yeah,
I think there's an app
I
for it, right?
An app.
I think so. Like an
Yeah.
open card app, maybe.
Yeah. I think it's called like
Oh, I saw
candy or
that.
something. Hard candy or
Hmm.
pocket candy. I don't remember.
No
I was
joke.
playing Pokemon and my Eevee evolved into an Umbreon, and I was like, "Oh, it was my first time playing Pokemon," and it was this big, a very exciting moment for me. And then immediately in chat, someone was like, "Yeah, I'll take that one. Here's my switch code. Yeah, we'll trade that one." And I'm like, "I don't want to."
No, it's mine.
No,
Literally
actually.
1 second after it evolved. "Yeah, I'll take that. Thanks."
Yep. Okay, cool. Claimed.
I was dying. They don't play.
No, I didn't
I
realize
did.
how serious it is. All right, so now that don't worry if you're not there yet, that's still totally okay. So now you should still very faintly be able to see some of the cracks that the fissures, that we drew in earlier. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the darkest color in the palette that we have, just once again here. And now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna shade towards the cracks that we've done here. So now we'll bring light to these ones a bit more. So I'm going to draw mine in, and I'm just really lightly going to be putting some more dimension into these across here. So you can see how it's already giving a bit more depth overall. And now we'll be able to have a bit more texture in with the stones too. And so you just want to do that across all of the little cracks that you've built up earlier. Also, chat especially, if you do not follow Aaliyah Will's Twitter account, you're missing out. Aaliyah, I'm obsessed with these voice videos that you and your fiance have been doing. It's become a dream of mine to have your fiance voice some of my original makeup designs just to see how hard they'll go. I recently just watched the Marvel Rivals one, and
Oh my god, I think he's in the chat right now. There you are, Philip.
I'm very impressed. Hi, Philip.
It started when I was playing Ocarina of Time for the first time, and for Zelda fans, there's this spider called the Skulltula, and they're unvoiced, and so I met the Skulltula for the first time, and they're sort of like a half human, half spider, and basically they're cursed, and so their only voice line their only voice line is "Yar, I'm cursed," and so I'm like, okay, yeah, let me just get my fiance to voice that. I think he'll have fun with it. He comes in and unleashes this like Lovecraftian roar, and I broke down. I've never, and I didn't know what he was gonna do. I thought he was gonna do like a pirate voice. Yar, I'm cursed. No, I was changed.
I mean, they're quite. Some of the voices become quite guttural, though. Like that's what's is so impressive. It's like, they come from really deep within.
Oh, yeah. It's like, how long have you been holding on to that one?
It's like, I don't know what we're unleashing here, but my god, I look forward to them every single time. And like the caption is always like, oh, so I had to lock in. And like, you have never not locked in.
I'm crying.
They're so good. I'm
Do you play
so
Marvel
excited
Rivals?
every time another one. Oh my gosh. Look, I attempted. Okay, so I had this moment where I wanted to see the skins. So I downloaded Marvel Rivals because I was like, okay, because I'm technically in Overwatch retirement, right? I retired.
Okay, yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna download it. And then I was trying to get into a practice session, and I pressed all the wrong buttons seemingly, and I got myself into a match. And I was like, good God, what's happening? I didn't even know how to pick a character. And I was like, okay, I was confused by the like when you can like team up with somebody else, and I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I was so confused. It was like the game had just come out. I didn't know what was going on. I was Moon Knight, and I was in a match. We managed to win, and I was like, because I was like using some of my like pre-Overwatch knowledge, right? So I was like, it wasn't so bad. We managed to win. I will say I should have got player of the match, but I was robbed. But regardless, fine. I'm clearly over it. And then I was like, oh my god, like I'm actually pretty decent at this game. So then I was like, I'm going to go into the practice. I'm actually going to go into practice. I'm going to try out every character, and I did that. I was in there for like an hour playing around with them all, and then after that, I lost every single game. So I just uninstalled it.
That's a canon event. That is a canon event.
I should have left it where it was and had a 100% win ratio.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah, my mistake. Have you been playing?
Oh, I have been on a hiatus because Monster Hunter has been taking over all of my brain at the moment.
Got you.
But I do love Marvel Rivals for sure. How about y'all? Oh, I know, Ramen, you said you love Halo. And... Oh, you haven't played it yet?
No, I had it installed. But I probably should revisit it because people keep telling me to. Because I do get into like the FPS games, but I don't know. I'm pretty locked in with Destiny. Yeah, I'm pretty locked in with Destiny. There's still so much to do.
Like I feel like that's all you can think of.
Yeah, there are so many other games that I do want to explore, like Monster Hunter being one, especially the character design. I feel like would be really exciting. Yeah, I just feel like I would spend hours on that alone, to be honest.
Oh, it's so good. You would love it so much.
Yeah. The combat's meant to be really good as well, which is always appreciated in games. So,
oh heck yeah!
I have such a love-hate relationship with Marvel Rivals. It feels like a full-time job
real.
for me.
That is real. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I made a second account just so I could play Marvel Rivals. Like, on Twitch. Yeah, so, like, I'm in the trenches, but I don't know if I'm happy about it, you know? I'm thinking about it. I'm a support
Who are you
player, though,
maining?
so...
Oh,
Invisible Woman.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right. I know that's
Susan
right.
Storm. What a gal.
But,
Always checking
oh,
on your heroes,
man.
y'all.
Always, please, turn around, I beg. Help me.
Help me, please.
Help me help you, okay?
But it's fun, I guess.
I guess.
That is real.
Yeah,
That's a
when you
fun game.
when you have a good game, it's fun.
When I'm winning, it's a good time, but...
Exactly.
And have you ever seen those memes that's like, someone's yelling, "Where are my heels?" And then it's like, my current situation. It's like some scene from Bloodborne or something.
Yeah. He's like,
I'm like 1v2ing the tanks.
Yeah. Average healer experience.
And the
of suffering.
Bloodborne, yes. Dark Souls boss.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So is that who you kind of like main, usually character-wise, as healers in these kind of things, or?
Oh, me or?
Yeah.
Oh, I do love playing. I guess it depends on the game. I think it's just super fun to play. Not really fun. Like, I enjoy
It's
playing.
so stressful. Like, there's a lot of responsibility, I feel like, riding on the healers in these.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's true.
But you know this is a healer. You know, if you're not a healer, you don't know.
I feel like Mel's already channeling some like flashbacks.
But there's a reason why I am in Overwatch retirement, okay? I was
I
also
can hear it.
for a while. I retired for a reason.
Yeah.
Who did you main in Overwatch?
Oh, Junkrat. No, I'm just kidding. Junkrat, but I also did Mercy and Diva, but I did Mercy for a while and I was like, I can't handle this anymore.
Oh, I'm so
So I
sorry.
did Junkrat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. But then, yeah, so I was, God, I think I was Mercy for almost like a year before I then moved over to Junkrat.
Oh, love.
Yeah, and then I was like permanently Junkrat. Well, when I was allowed to. You know when somebody else takes your character and you take it really personally? That's mine!
Yeah, I've been like come sometimes with someone like completely random on solo queue. Someone will pick a character and then the other person I don't know will just scream at them to unselect it so they could have it. And it's just it's terrifying because you get jump scared and then you're scared that you've even picked the wrong character and then you know you have it and you just panic unselect. It's intense.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's these games like that. Yep. They're a bit much sometimes, you know. Like I'm surprised you're in full time with it. Newbies.
Oh my gosh, you know, we choose this life sometimes. I gotta get out of there.
It's nice to take a break with story games sometimes. That's why you don't have to worry about it so much.
That's why I watch like cozy game streamers a lot. I'm like, I wish this was me. Live through them.
I don't know. I was mentioning this earlier. I'm currently playing as well Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and I'm shocked at the drama that we have on Friendship Island. Hello Kitty has a boyfriend, and I didn't know that there was law. And her boyfriend is called Dear Daniel, and he came to the island. And I found this absolutely disgraceful. He was like, "Hey, if you and I were friends, maybe I'd consider moving here." And I was like, "Don't speak to me like that. Hello Kitty is literally in the building next door. I'm going to make sure that she knows you've said this, first of all." And then he's like, "Oh, can you get me some apples? Because, you know, Hello Kitty loves apple pie." And I was like, "Fine, you don't know where the apples are." And then he makes Hello Kitty basically bake her own apple pie. And so I'm going to stop him from moving to the island because I don't want him there. And as far as I'm concerned, Hello Kitty shouldn't want him there either. So so the drama that is ensuing on Friendship Island is too much for me. And I've had to take a break from the cozy game because I was getting angry at Dear Daniel and how he was speaking to me So I'm waiting until I can tell Hello Kitty the bad news that I've made sure they've broken up.
How did you break? How did you break a cozy game like that? It's impressive.
Look, you're not the only overthinker in this room, okay?
Yeah, really.
It's shocking. Shocking, really.
You're right.
Evil is everywhere. We just have to look for it.
Exactly.
Honestly, me
Michael.
meeting Tom Nook and Animal Crossing.
You really took
No, because that was the video today that Full sent me this morning. I was like, there it is. There's another one.
Oh my god. He is truly evil. I can't believe it.
Right, so you're all doing such a fantastic job. I just want to make sure that you all know that. But don't feel like you have to rush yourselves at all. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm just taking a little bit of the black eyeshadow once again, and I'm just lightly bringing that into the rest of my face so I can add some more shape to it. I'm going to be doing this on my cheekbone and also just around my eyes, just so I can bring some more shape back to my face. I'm just doing this really lightly as well, because I just want to make sure that we still have some dimension in here. So imagine just think of it as a little bit of like light contour on the face, because when you do make it look like this, sometimes it takes away all of the natural shading and highlight. Like when you use a full coverage foundation for the first time and you feel like you look like the moon, kind of the same thing. So we're just going to be bringing some shape back in. So feel free to do that as well. And just do the contour that you would normally do on your own face. Just recreate that shape.
Yours looks so good. I feel like mine's giving kind of like more of a Doctor Doom vibe, but it's giving
a vibe.
But I think trust the process.
But I feel like one of the things as well is that you can see how actually it's quite straightforward and quite easy to create and make it look like this. And do you know what's really great is like makeup looks like, even like what we've done today, and I know you guys are probably saying like actually it's a lot more straightforward than you thought it would be, but like I've used this exact base and done like a half Medusa makeup look and like just put like a snaky contact lens in the other eye, and then put like slight snake skin like shimmer on the other side and use that as a costume before. So once you've like figured out how to do something like this, like it really opens up so many opportunities, right? Because everyone thinks like with Medusa, because that's kind of what I was doing with a Medusa. I didn't make like a whole headpiece. I like slicked all my hair back, made one side all stone-like, and then the other side I made it be a bit more snaky. And honestly, like this isn't taking us too long already, so you can see how it's a pretty decent last-minute costume. If you don't know how to do like scaly, snaky makeup, you can take either like a fishnet wig cap or like fishnet tights that you already have, and you can literally pull it over your skin and then use shimmer makeup. Yeah, place it over it, and then when you lift it off, it will leave you with the imprint of like a snaky vibe. So it's really easy to do, because what I would do is like take like a highlight or a shimmer, and then I would use that on the other side of my face just to kind of give the impression. So as well, when it also like hits the light, it looks a little bit more scaly. So there's so many like opportunities of like last minute costumes that you can do with this too. Ah, Singalisa, thank you so much. Singalisa says, oh my God, I love this. How do you lot feel about like in general being creative with your makeup? Is it something that you struggle with, or it's something that you love doing, or?
Yeah, I struggle with it. I every time I want to try something new, I just get scared when it comes to makeup.
Yeah.
You know, but I want to get, you know, more creative with it for sure.
I know one of the reasons why I was like, oh my gosh, I'm definitely going to have to invite Aaliyah on today was because I saw you responding to a comment on Instagram where someone was like, oh my God, the body paint. And you were like, no, ask Mcroft. And I was like, right, well, I'm planning this thing anyway, so I might as well.
Oh my God,
and I was
yes.
like, all right, perfect. You want to learn, you want to figure out what to do. And I was like, okay, no problem. So that was when you cosplayed Mel from Arcane. Am I correct in that? That was such a good one.
I appreciate
I love
that.
her.
I'll have to hire you to help me with that one. It's
well,
so hard.
Mayron do this really amazing product. I don't know if you've got it. It's called the metallic powder, and that's what I use for the gold whenever I do my gold makeup looks. And so, honestly, that's a really good one. It almost looks like it's that you can like drip yourself in gold. It's a really nice product. So that was something which I was like, oh, actually, maybe, because you basically just do exactly what you just did, but yeah, you use this like gold metallic powder. It comes with like a mixing liquid, and you mix those two together, and it's so gorgeous. It comes in loads of different metallics as well. Like you can literally make yourself look like complete silver. Oh, it's such a lovely product.
Oh, I'll definitely buy that. Like, I always plug you, and it's anything to do with body paint or makeup that is more like for cosplay. Always. I literally don't understand how you do it so fast.
Yeah, I'm like watching and I'm like, whoa.
Right?
I'd get there in like 3 days, I think.
No, literally.
Yeah, 3 to 5 business days, and we'll get there. Okay, so now that what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go back in for my eyebrow, and I'm going to be using the eyeliner pencil that we've been using earlier. So as well, I'm going to fill in my eyebrow, but where we've gone around with like the cracks, etc. around here, I'm just going to also press a little bit harder on those just to give us a little bit more definition and really make sure that they look a little bit cleaner. So I'm just going to go around there, and I'm also going to get rid of this hyphen brow that I've brought upon myself and just lightly sketch that in. Again, we're meant to be like carved out of stone, so don't worry about it being like too high contrast or anything. We just want to make sure that we still keep with the stone theme, and all we're doing is essentially adding in some contrast.
I made a boo-boo. I accidentally wiped some off, so I'm trying to add that back.
Oh yeah, that is one of the things which I feel like is easily done, but you end up like learning how to like avoid it. I mean, I still sometimes do it, and then I'm like, this is a bad day, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm sure I'll add eventually, maybe, in my head.
If you're really struggling with it, you can also use some more splatter and then cover that, so you're not actually like wiping with the brush as well.
Yeah.
Are there any games y'all are looking forward to that are coming out this year?
I want to play Split Fiction. I know that one's just
come
come out, but
yeah.
that one. What about you?
Same. I want to play Split Fiction so bad. It looks so fun.
What about chat? What games are you looking forward to as well? Splitgate 2? I haven't heard of that one. The ones that you're waiting for have already come out. Oh, Splitgate? You know Splitgate?
It's like it's kind of like Halo in a way. Very like. Doesn't somebody here play Halo, or did I make that up?
Ramen.
Okay, that's fine. I was like, someone here plays Halo.
Someone.
I would say it's like similar to Halo, that kind of vibe, but more jumpy and chaotic.
I'll have to check it out.
Oh,
yeah, I kind of
somebody
own
in chat's
it.
also Nightmares 3. That one looks
Yeah.
good.
Which one?
The Little Nightmares 3. That one's co-op.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be so much.
That looks good, doesn't
so
it? Yeah.
excited.
I'm really looking forward to that.
I could see my stone coming together in like dim lighting.
It looks so good. It looks so good.
It looks good. Don't you worry.
Lights off type of vibe, nightclub. It could.
I feel the same. I just have to close my eyes, and then
Yeah,
it's
just.
done.
You know, I actually also did I did a stone look for what did I do a stone look for? Oh my gosh. You know in Elden Ring, the stones of I think is it Melania and Radagon.
You did a Melania cosplay?
No, was it Melania? Wait, hang on a minute. The one with the stone, I get them mixed up. There's three names all beginning with. I think that in my mind you're helping, but it's not helping. We figure it out because there's three names. There's three names which are so similar. It's the one. Is it Marika?
It could be Marika because she's got a lot of stone statues.
Yes, her. I did a cosplay of that statue with this stone Yeah, I did that one, and I also did Radagon, but I did Radagon's like broken one with all of the gold on the inside.
Oh my god!
It's like once you figure out stone, like you can pretty much do whatever.
I am obsessed. I can't wait for Nightmare.
Yeah. Oh really? Do you know what? I did.
Yeah, it's
I was. Sorry, you go. You go.
No. Go ahead.
Oh no, mine's mortifying. I was like, I started playing Elden Ring and I found it really hard. And the same time, someone was like, their goldfish just completed Elden Ring, and I just wanted to uninstall it. I was so upset. I was like, oh my god, this is okay, cool. All right.
No,
anyway. Yeah, someone was like, I just got my goldfish to finish it, and it was just as I started, and I just saw this like gaming news, and I was like, okay, love that for me.
That's fine. That's fine.
Cool.
Oh my god. Okay, let me get.
And I know this is a question that your chats probably always ask you all the time, but it's important. Are you guys watching any shows at the moment?
I've just decided to rewatch Castlevania and Vampire Diaries. So I seem to be on a vampire run right now. Yeah. I forgot how much Elena annoys me in season 1. But because I just feel like a lot of the problems could have been avoided with certain choices. But yeah.
No, I feel like that about That's So Raven. I tried to rewatch That's So Raven, and I was like, if you were honest, we wouldn't even have an episode. Just be honest, it's not a problem. Like, why is this a problem now?
The drama
I think
was
watching some of them as an adult, you're like, this isn't an issue. It's really not a problem.
But on Hello Kitty Island, that's an issue.
No, on Hello Kitty Island now it's major drama.
Yeah.
I've been rewatching Dexter. The drama.
Whoa.
Yeah,
There's
I binged like
When you say rewatching, how many times have you seen it?
only once, so rewatching it like 10 years later has been kind of wild because I'll like remember really random things but then nothing at all, and I'm like, oh, this person's dead. But I won't remember till like halfway through the season. I'm like, oh, it's like re-spoiling it for myself.
I guess as well, you probably like almost like see some things being like foretold that you've never noticed before, because I'm kind of doing that with Invincible.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I need to watch this next season.
Invincible's I'm currently I'm watching it myself, but my partner was like, we can watch this, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna start again because I was happy to watch it again anyway. But I'm going through and I'm like, damn, like some of the choice of words, I'm like, damn. Okay, good to know. Okay, damn. I'm not gonna spoil it for you lot in chat. Some of you guys haven't seen it, but
I gotta catch up on that one.
Yeah.
Robin,
Right,
have
so
you
then the
seen
next thing-
Interview with a Vampire?
There you
Oh,
go.
sorry.
No, you go. That's a good question. It's more important than what I was gonna say, to be honest.
What was the question, sorry?
Did you see Interview with the Vampire?
No, what's that?
Oh my god, it's so good. If you're on a vampire kick, I think you'd love Interview with the Vampire. It's like this interviewer's interviewing a vampire about his life and how, he's lived over hundreds of years. It's so good, and it's juicy.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up. I take your
Not that
recommendation.
it's the same, but have you seen that game, The Vampire Therapist or something?
I've heard of it
I
actually.
think you are literally a therapist for vampires.
It's a lot to
That sounds
unpack.
I think it's just been nominated for a BAFTA or something. I'm not sure. I got an email about it this morning and I was like, oh my God, that sounds fantastic.
This year? Yeah, well, this morning you said, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Right, so the next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'm just taking a really, really small amount of white paint, and I just want to make sure that I don't pick up too much water with the brush too. So as you can see here, it's not like dripping wet at all. So I'm just going to take a small amount, and then I'm going to go along the edges of these stones just to give it a bit more contrast, so that we can see a little bit more across here, and it will really help to just give it a bit more depth. And I'm just going to go around and I'm going to do that across all of my fissures and along the edges of these stones too.
Okay.
Sassy Mommy Yoda in chat says, Nee, you should do more makeup streams.
I'm fighting for my life right now.
Oh, the white adds so much.
So much difference, right? I think a lot of the time it just comes down to like controlling the contrast, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that's the bit I found the hardest though.
Yeah, but once you've like figured that part out, it's pretty smooth sailing from there, to be honest with you. But I mean, it seems like this is like almost like one of your first tries, like, so I think you're all doing a fantastic job regardless. Like, major props for you guys for doing that.
Thank you.
You've done so much great stuff so far, and chat, as obviously some of your communities are also in here, seem to be enjoying it. Seen some wonderful messages come through already.
It is so cool seeing it like come together on your face. Like I'm like,
Right?
whoa, you are actually stone.
Have you ever worn some of your makeup looks out in public that's like in a non, convention?
Well, getting to the
setting?
convention is an issue in itself, because I would take public transport. So it was, yeah. I mean, people, I think overall people like are kind of like, they kind of look, or like they'll ask you what you're doing. I think the one that annoys me the most is people try and take pictures of you without you knowing. And the thing I ended up doing was just waving at them and like smiling for the photos, and then they would be like absolutely mortified that they had been caught out and then like run away. So that was kind of like my go-to. But yeah, I have done before. I usually just wear a sign that says "Wet paint, don't touch."
Oh,
That's so
I
funny.
love that.
What's your what would you say is the best paint that you've, or like cosplay that you've been in when you've had to answer the door?
So I usually I have like two things where I'm like, I'm gonna go like wait for them to just leave the parcel, or I'm gonna, I think, what was one? For a while I had to convince the same guy that I was practicing for a fancy dress party. But it was like, how sometimes it's the same Amazon guy, and like I was like, I can't keep this lie up. And then I think it was like over the space of like a week, and I was like, oh my God, it's the same guy again. So I was just like, oh, I just really don't know what to wear for this party. Like, I'm so unsure about, I don't remember what it was though. I feel like one of them was red. Oh, I actually think it was my profile picture. One of them was my Aries one, so I was red. He was like, oh, it looks really good. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm just not sure. And then another time I was like, oh, like since COVID, I've just been having like online fancy dress parties with my friends. Like, we're just doing it over Zoom. And he was like, oh, that's crazy. He's like, you're really good at this. And I was like, oh, that's kind, thanks. And so I ended up like crafting this giant web of lies to this one person, because I was like, I don't want them to like look me up on the internet or anything, you know what I mean? Like, so I was just kind of like, yeah, oh my God, I just love a fancy dress party.
I just love
Me and my Zoom friends, like who wants to do a quiz on Zoom? Like, we're all out here just, doing costume parties. You seem to buy it, so. And there was one person who left the parcel outside, and so I went to go get it because it was about to rain, and I opened the door and a guy fell off his bike because I opened the door like I think I was like,
no.
he was staring at me so hard, like he fell, and I was like, I am not gonna. I'm gonna shut the door and I'm just gonna pretend I haven't seen this. He was like, I watched out the window and he got back on. He was fine, but I was like, oh my God, like, you know what? Like, he's gonna ask too many questions, and I was like, and he doesn't want to deal with the embarrassment that he fell off the bike because he was staring at me, and I don't want to deal with the embarrassment of this. So I was like, I'm just gonna let this one slide.
Oh my God.
Just make sure he was okay out the window, and was like, yeah, we're good.
Keep it moving.
Yeah. I was like, go on, we're all gonna go. Carry on with our own lives. God, I actually forgot that happened. That was years ago. Like 2 years ago that happened. I remember just looking at this guy and thinking like, oh no.
That's so funny.
Yeah, usually I'm like, look, no one really knows what goes on in people's houses, and so I like to have that, like, you're knocking on my door, you're interrupting me, but then also I'm still like, oh damn it, like I'm gonna have to come up with some crafted lie.
I remember having to take public transit in Sephiroth cosplay. That was humbling.
Really?
Very humbling.
It's like fine when you get near the con, but up until then it's rough.
It's bad.
You can tell where the halfway point is, because then you start to see people that are also in their cosplay.
Yes.
Like, okay, I see you, and then you like take this mutual unsaid breath of relief that you found each other, even if you don't see each other. You're just like, I'm getting nearer my people.
Yeah, I was cosplayed as like battle damaged Lara Croft once, and I wanted to get food because the food at the con was too expensive. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some food. This guy in the shop was like, oh my God, what happened? And I was like, I've had such a morning. But it was fine because when I got to the train station, I found Nathan Drake.
Oh
So
my
I was like,
God.
okay, well, like me and Nathan Drake are gonna go to the con together. And so I just kind of was like, hi. I'm assuming we're going to the same place. And so I made friends with Nathan Drake instead. So that's been quite lucky on a few occasions.
I love you not explaining to like the restaurant guy and just being like, yeah, it's been a morning, and keeping it moving.
I feel like it's a better story for them if like they don't get any explanation and I'm just like, oh my God, I know. Can I just have 2 Kit Kats and we're just gonna call it? And I'll see you later.
2 Kit Kats and a Band-Aid, please.
I'm crying.
That's awesome.
How are you guys getting on? You feel like you're pretty comfortable with it so far, or how are you doing?
I feel pretty great, honestly. The white really got it together. I was nervous, and then the white sealed the deal.
It looks really good. I really like how you've like angled the cracks as well, like focusing on the chin, and like you've really like made it like your eye feature, and I think that looks really cool.
Thank you.
It does look cool, yeah.
Y'all look so good.
I was gonna say, I feel like we've all done collectively pretty decent, considering this is our first time trying to paint each other like ourselves as stone. It's not a casual activity for sure, but you know, as far as it goes, we've done well.
Right? And like ultimately it's actually not too difficult.
Okay, hold on. Let's not stretch it. Like,
no, wait a minute.
I mean, we've got there. Let's just.
All right.
It's still a learning curve.
I think that's one of the things I really need to learn. I was like, I'm going to show my chat how to do this really easy pumpkin makeup look. And I like ran through it in like 30 minutes. I like dripped so much paint water down myself. Like I was like, yeah, so we're just going to use like this different shade of orange and this one and this one and this one and this one and this one. And then I'm just going to draw out these like pumpkin shapes and then we're done. And I was like, and wasn't that so easy? And my chat, like they just went so silent and was like, no. But I think like my understanding of what's easy just not coincide. And they were like, can you, I got lost. They were like, I got lost at like when you changed the color. And I was like, that was at the beginning. Like so I'm not the best at understanding skill level and it's something I need to work on. But like overall, I feel like you've all done a fantastic job thus far.
You've been a great teacher.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
Stop at you.
I'm gonna practice.
Yeah, now that we have the kits, it'll be fun to try.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's the thing
No,
as well. Like, there's
exactly.
so much that you can do with this kit. And so when I was like trying to decide what we were going to do with Mayrons, I was like, I actually think a lot of these little bits are going to be really, really helpful when it comes to you guys just wanting to like take it further in the future. You know what I mean? And just like play around with it. Especially like this eyebrow palette. I am very aware that not everybody has these color eyebrows. But to me, they're really good for just shading around the face. So if you want to do something like sometimes I want to like just do like little doodles, but make it look like it's like really lifted off the face. So ultimately, realistically, I know we were like joking around earlier, but if you wanted to do a Phantom of the Opera paint, there's no reason why you couldn't take the white, shade it up with a little bit of the gray, and then shade around the mask with the eyebrow palette here.
Ooh.
You see what I mean? Like it's a really good kit. It's like they're so versatile with what you've got. And as you can see, we've barely used much paint at all. So there is a lot of like longevity in these products too.
I'm gonna perfect the stone and then I'm going for Phantom of the Opera.
Okay, yeah, good.
Like not much more next time. It's over.
Oh, this is such a lovely message. Knee Beats is everywhere. Good for her. Hope she continues to succeed. Love that.
Oh my god, stop.
That's so
No, that's so nice. I'm gonna cry off my stone. Stop. Stay on stone. Come on.
I definitely will practice it. I feel like something that I'm learning as I'm going is that I feel like the bits to try and break off into stone, I've accidentally done it where it looks more like lightning. I don't know.
Got
as
you.
a pattern.
Yeah, got you.
You know what I mean? And it's just trying to find the balance of the line between that of like, okay, where did I go wrong with that? But
that again is just practice because it's so easily done. So, but again, it's just like you earn XP as you go along, right?
literally, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of got to the point where I was like, okay, this doesn't look like how I want, but I'm having fun. So-
Yeah,
and that's the main thing, right? Like you're enjoying it, and it's a lot of fun to do it. So I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm able to do it so often, is because I'm having a great time.
I know that's right. Are y'all going to TwitchCon?
Pending for you. Wait, which one? Which one are you talking about?
Either, I suppose. Is there one? There's one in Europe that's coming up, right?
Yeah, that's the Rotterdam one.
I was gonna say,
You should
I think
go
I've
there.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Amsterdam or Rotterdam?
I personally have never. I would love to.
Yeah, no, me neither. I've heard good things though.
Oh heck yeah!
I'd love to do San Diego again. I've done that TwitchCon, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was
so good.
Not last year's one, but like the San Diego one 2 years ago, I think it would have been. But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I just love San Diego. Period. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's perfect weather. I can't get over.
I know. It was really nice.
Oops.
If you want to add more contrast, you can take the tiny brush that we've been gifted by Mayron, And in the same way that we did the white around the edges, you just take a small amount of black and then go as far into the edge as possible, as if you were outlining it like an eyeliner. And that will just boost the contrast as like the little final touch.
Ew. Very cool. With you doing this like for as long as you have, do you feel like a lot of it for you is like muscle memory at this point? Like you kind of just like lock in and you're like, this goes here, that goes there type of situation? That's how I am with
it's
the
kind
gym.
of like,
Curious.
yeah, it's just like that, this, that, and then this is fine, and then that's done, and then that'll be good. But explaining it to someone is really hard because you're almost like, it becomes common, just like what you do is like a formulaic approach. So like when people are like, oh my god, how did you do that? And sometimes you're like,
Yeah.
It's like kind of that muscle memory that you just kind of have to then try and remember, and then when you try to remember it, you're like, wait, is that what I did?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a very cool thing about like learning a skill is a lot of it does become like muscle memory, but then when you're explaining it, you're like, oh, I'm just like on autopilot sometimes.
Yeah, but I'm like, I do things and I'm like, I literally have no memory of the beginning of my stream. I don't know how I did that bit. I just did it, and it looks like this now. If you want to know how I did it, just can you rewatch that bit? Because I don't know.
I think this is nice too, as like a person that's like so go to just like sit down and like take your time just like on the small details of things.
Totally.
Like, oh, it's kind of therapeutic or something. Or whatever.
Type B.
Mel, when did you actually start body painting? Because you used to do graphics, right?
Yeah, so by trade I'm a graphic designer. That's what I studied at university. I studied graphic communication and typography. But I actually, so like I feel like it's loose. But like I started playing around with like drawing on my face when I was like 12. And then my mum would like buy me like these eyeshadow palettes and they'd have silver in them, and I'd be like turning myself into the Terminator because that's obviously what you do when you first get your first eyeshadow palette. And so I kept doing that, and then people would be like, maybe we should just buy some face paint. So then people started noticing what I was doing. So God, I think it's tough because I feel like when it feels crazy to be like, I've been doing this for 15 years, which realistically is probably like, I probably started maybe 15, 16 years ago, but I wasn't consistent with it. I've only really been consistent with it over like the past 9 years of, I made it like a New Year's resolution to be like, I'm going to do a body paint a week because I wanted to get good. And then I ended up finding Twitch and being like, oh, well, I could just stream it. That's great because I don't like video editing. And I always say the joke's on me because now I do both. But alas, at the time, that was like really big news. Like, and then I only ever used to stream on a Saturday. And then I really wanted to try and go for a partner on Twitch. So you had to stream like a certain amount of days. And I was like, this works out anyway because I don't feel like 52 paints in a year is enough practice for what I want to do. So I then upped it, and then I started doing like 3 to 4 makeup looks a week, and so I've just kind of been doing that consistently since then. So I feel like I've ramped up my practice level like tenfold over the past few years. But when I started, it was a very long time ago. So I started a very, very long time. But I also started doing like more of my like torso paints, etc. Probably when, maybe like quite a few years in, I was so bad. I painted Captain America, and I didn't realize that like all the detail of like the white and the red was on like his torso, and so I was essentially blue with an A on my forehead, and I was like, this can stand for anything. So I was like, I need to figure out how I can paint some more because I'm not getting enough. So from then on, I was like, I'm gonna try and figure out what else I can do. And then everything just kind of like escalated from there. And I always say I started by taking makeup too far, but I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad. I think it's been pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the decisions. But it's a long time. But I wasn't consistent for a long time, which is why I feel like being like, like 16 years and stuff. I'm like, look at how much I've done. But I kind of like took some time off between some of that as well. But so I worked as a graphic designer for the longest time, and decided I didn't like that, and I liked streaming instead. But worked out in the end.
Oh, I'm glad. Well, because now we
stream.
Yeah, always lurking.
Yeah, they are such like a relaxing, fun thing to lurk on.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Especially when you're working or you're doing something else, it's like you might have to like step away for a meeting or finishing some work, and then you go back to check in, and then you get to see the development. It's like, whoa, this much happened after that period of time, and then you're just mesmerized at the same time, because sometimes, Mel, you do really scary paints, and I, at nighttime, and that bit I don't like, but
Yeah, there's a few which I feel like, fair enough.
There'll be like times where it's just like, wake up, or I'll be like, I want a midnight snack, and then I'll see you online, and I'll tune in, and then I see what you look like, and I'm like, this is nightmare fuel. This is literally, you'll have like glory and stuff, but it looks amazing. Like, it looks absolutely incredible, but
Do you know one of the ones that actually threw a lot of people off was I painted myself as the carpet from The Shining, and a lot of people found it really weirdly unsettling.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're really good at it.
Yeah, it was like quite there wasn't like too much shading on the piece, so I think it looked really haunting. And then so I just had this carpet paint, and then I just put massive eyelashes on, and a lot of people said that this felt really uncomfortable looking at it.
I believe it.
That is awesome. Are you a big Scary Movie fan?
I never used to be. I feel like I'm slowly getting into them now, because I started getting into scary games before I got into scary films. I don't know why. I always said scary games were worse, because I was like, you have to be the idiot that does the stupid things. It's like at the beginning of Outlast, where it's like, I can't open the door, and in my mind I'm like, never mind, I guess I'll go. And he's like, I should climb that scaffolding and into the only open window. And I'm like, no, we shouldn't though, should we? We should just have the option to go back in the car and drive away. That's what we should. But you have to be the foolish person that you see like on films when you're watching them on the film, and they're like, oh, gosh, the lights have gone out in the loft, so I guess I better use, like, instead of like this torch, I should use this candle. And you're like, well, it's gonna blow out. Why would you do something? And you have to watch them do the thing. But when you play a scary game, like, you're the idiot that has to do it.
Right. Oh my god.
You're the guy.
Yeah, even just panning the camera the way you turn around, it's like, don't move too quick, because if you get jump scared, it's like it's almost your own fault. Like, don't turn around, just keep walking straight.
That's awesome.
Yeah, are you a big scary film fan, or?
Absolutely. I love scary. I think that's why, like, so I creep on your Instagram all the time, and I specifically like go to like the scary ones. So I'm like, ooh, and I'll like show people, and I'm like, this is from this, just so that you know. Big fan of the scary looks.
The one that really I found to be so unsettling was the Talk to Me film. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was like, this one won't have that much of an effect on me. It seems silly, and then I was like, I'm so really sad. I watched this film.
It was a haunting one. They've been coming out with a lot of haunting ones.
You had to keep thinking about it, right? You're like, wait, what at the end? So you're kind of like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Chills.
Oof.
I don't know what else I can do. I don't know like what I should do. I feel like
if it's done, gal.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna let mine cook for a second.
I tried. I was gonna say I feel like I needed to take a break because I just kept going, and I think that's also where I went wrong. Is like I didn't just step back and evaluate. I just kept picking up pace.
No, it looks fantastic. It looks really good.
Thanks.
I think you've all done such a good job so far. Are you gals happy with how it's turned out?
Yes.
I think I feel like it is a learning curve, you know. It's like you said, you have to learn from like where you kind of went a bit wrong, and I think that I made quite a few mistakes, but I've made note of them so that if I were to do this again, like specifically the stone one, I know what I would do differently. I feel like, you know, this stepping back and evaluating instead of just continuing and locking in could make a massive difference, because I kept drawing lines and I didn't need to. Like I could have stopped, but I don't know.
I think what's really great about yours is that you've almost like framed the eye, because what it looks like is like almost as if like the eye has been like revealed or like sunken down, and I really love how you've gone around the eye in that way. I think it looks really wonderful. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's what I started to realize. I was like, wait, why am I doing this? Because I started to trace it like how you would skull makeup, and that's something I have done before. And I was like, that's not what this is. That's not what this is. But yeah.
Yeah. I think it looks good. I like it. It almost feels like I'm trying to think. This is so random, but like, you know, like when Rhino transforms into like Spider-Man, and then there's like a stone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So specific, I think I know what you're on about. Yeah.
It feels like a like transformation look. It's really cool. Mine's more like, I don't know. Mine's more like cartoony stone, but she's doing her best, and that's what matters.
I feel like
and it looks good.
Yeah,
it looks really, really good.
God,
it looks like it's if you were to be like a Marvel Rivals character, I feel like that's part of your superpower type thing. Like, I know it's part of the theme to be set in stone, but I was like, stone is somehow your ability in this. I don't know how to describe it, but I know what I'm talking about.
There is a character. I cannot remember their name. But there is a character that's so interesting, and they like this. It sounds so gross, but like their power is that like every time they tear off their skin, they're made out of like a new material, so they can like just keep ripping it off, and like they'll be like stone, they'll be like diamond, they'll be like lava. I can't remember the name of the character, but there is a character that exists that does that. Because I remember being like, maybe I should do like a really torn up piece, and like it's just like all like pulled away, etc. And I can't remember the name of the character that does that, but there is one.
That would be really cool. I'm trying to like figure out. Also, I don't know if
my chat's telling me Husk.
Is it Husk?
Which I feel like I've actually maybe painted that one before. So here we are again. Too many, as I've mentioned earlier. Thank you. That's Husk. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I've just Googled it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool character. Aaliyah, how have you found today?
I had a lot of fun. I loved it. I loved every moment, and I'm happy with how it came out. I'm all good. We're feeling good. I'm ready to go to the produce mart. Oranges.
Like anything in particular apart from the oranges that you'd buy?
God, I don't. Do stone people eat? Like, do we need to eat, or do we just
like what would they
should we pick
eat?
up
Like
some
dog
rocks?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what they would eat. No thoughts here. But yeah, I think, you know, you going over there would be fantastic.
No, this is fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was.
I think it looks honestly, I think it looks really, really good. And so overall, I'm really grateful that you guys have joined me on this. So I'll just start wrapping up now, because you guys have done such a fantastic job. So thank you so much. Again, and I know I probably said this 1,000 times, but like I had this idea and I was like, oh, I really want to make sure that we get some like people involved who would really appreciate it. So I handpicked all of you guys, as I mentioned earlier, like Relman, I know you've been really interested in getting into cosplay. So I really want to make sure that you had some some materials to help get started with that. Aaliyah, I know I had seen that you had tagged me in socials being like, I don't know anything about body paint, I'll go ask Emcroft07, and I was like, okay, look, we can change this. I appreciate it, but like, you know, let's help you out on this, because I was planning to do this anyway. And Neebeats, I had heard you mention a few times that you're like, oh, I really like lurking in there, it looks really fascinating. I was like, all right, well, let's make sure that Neebeats has a chance to also play around as well. As like, it'd be nice for you to like have a bit of a go and play, because I know you mentioned that you expressed the interest in it, so I was like, it's all fun. So I just want to do a major thank you to all of you guys for wanting to join me here for the International Women's Day makeup stream. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. I had so much fun learning. You were such a great teacher, and you were really patient as well, so it's not your first rodeo, clearly.
No, seriously, and I think it's like, it's so cool for you as well. I guess like I am such a big love language person, so for you to like bring us on here and like share like your passion and your love language with us is like, it just means so much. So thank you for having us. This was so cool to learn from you.
It's been really fun.
Thank you. And so just before we go with you guys, I just want to go through each and every one of you as we did earlier. So 35p Ramen, where can everybody find you and what have you got coming up?
Well, handles 35p_ramen across the board. I have that tournament stuff that's starting pretty soon that I was talking about earlier with Bungie, so really excited about that. But that's kind of like the most immediate thing that I'll be diving into, and that's like a 3-week tournament, so it's going to take a while. I'm a bit nervous, but that's what I've got coming up. But yeah, 35p_ramen on Instagram, Twitter, and all the other places. So yeah,
we love that. Can we get some we did that's in chat with our new emote? Let's go. Thank you so much. Aaliyah, where can we find you and what have you got coming up?
You can find me at Aaliyah Will, ALIYA WILL, across everything. You'll find me there, and I'll be doing a piano stream. I'll be playing some game covers on the piano, and I'll also be playing a little Ocarina of Time soon, so you can check that out very, very soon. But thanks for having me.
Love to hear it. And Neebeats, of course, where can we find you and what have you got coming up?
Yeah, so I'm Neebeats over all socials, NYY, pronounced Nee, not like New York Yankees at all. I'm a DJ streamer, and so we do a lot of like theme nights, DJ parties, that type of thing. Not really this, so this was so nice and so much fun. And yeah, just happy I got to be here. Thank you so much for having us and sharing this with us. So yay!
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, all of you. Again, I can't express my gratitude enough for me being like, can you go onto the front page of Twitch with me and I'm going to do some makeup with you guys, and then you're all just going to like turn yourself into something which I haven't told you about until the day before. Thank you for agreeing with my crazy ideas with you guys. So thank you so much. That's very kind of you guys. So we have a few other things coming up on Twitch as well for International Women's Day. We have a few other streams. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time, we're going to be celebrating the International Women's Day by tuning into Twitch Rivals for Party Animals Chaos. And we all know Party Animals is always chaotic. And that's going to be with the Twitch Women's Guild presented by Honda. That's pretty good. Let's get some We Did That's in chat. And also, please make sure that you check out the Twitch Ambassadors Science_ streams for the legendary Women in STEM guest series, as they're doing a fundraiser for girls who code throughout March. I want to say a huge thank you to all of the Twitch staff as well who helped to pull this off and have been working tirelessly behind the scenes to be so wonderful and just really, really pulling through and being absolutely fantastic. Once again, thank you especially to Mayron as well for giving us all the products that we've used today. I really appreciate it, and as you can see, they look absolutely fantastic, so thank you so much. I'm Emcroft07. I classify myself as the extreme makeup athlete, and you can find me at literally Emcroft07 on all socials. I do the behind the scenes of my makeup looks over on Twitch, and I post the more refined things in my videos over on my socials. So while I might be biased, I highly recommend you follow me across everywhere. So thank you very much, all of you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much.